Hello and welcome back to my nail corner. I am going to bust into this package from Shameless Dips, and I wanted to make sure to include the package because it's so darn cute. I love that the logo is on the outside of the box. It comes with a little card with anything that they need to communicate to me in the meantime. They're all branded. They wrote a little note on the inside of the flap of the box. Everything is bubble wrapped, and then there's bubble wrap on top of bubble wrap. Like, it's super secure. I love that branded sticker on the navy tissue paper. I love navy. It just feels so classy. And then all of the dips are securely in these bubble wrapped bags, which is awesome. I love their jars. I think that they're beautiful. Number one, they're like a more shallow jar but wider, which is actually really nice, especially because a lot of the time I like to lay my finger into the powder, and a wider jar allows for that. These jars, I just checked, they said 1/4 ounce on them. Oh, and look at these cute little like bundles of swatch sticks that come. That's just such a smart and like little cute extra, and I love it so much. So anyway, they all say 1/4 ounce on them, but I think you could easily fit a 1/2 ounce, and you'll see when I open the jars that they're not like full to overflowing, which again is nice because I could dip my finger into them. But yeah, they all said 1/4 ounce on them. I believe maybe they use the same jars and put different labels on 1/2 ounce. I am not 100% on that, but I love the jars. This is a Mani Boss Mani on my right hand. That color is Patty Cake, which is super cute. And then on the left there is Shake Your Shamrock, I believe is what it's called, and it is a thermal, and so it goes to a lighter green when warm, and then that green that you just saw when cold. So super fun for St. Patty's Day. If you don't have any, check out Mani Boss, and I have a $5 off your first order referral. So I'm going to go through these colors that were sent to me. There's the powder in the jar this is Clover, and that is a St. Patty's Day color they released. I really like that it's not an in-your-face color, like it's subtle and you could wear it any time of the year. That's Water Bearer, which is beautiful, and I'm thinking about using it for like French tips. I thought that would be fun. This is a really gorgeous purple flake that I've already worn because my son is a February baby, and I thought having amethyst nails at some point just seemed appropriate. So that was gorgeous, and one dip application, full coverage. Tulip. I love Tulip. Look how pretty that is. I have plans for this one. It's a beautiful hot pink shimmer with just fine shimmer to it. It looks like it's going to apply beautifully, and I can't wait to use that. And then this soft pink, which I love a soft pink. So this is Hyacinth, and this has a shimmer to it as well. I wore this one and it applied beautifully. It's super soft and just a great powder application. Loved it. This is gorgeous. This lavender shimmer with like subtle glitter to it. I want to say it's like a almost green glitter, like a light green glitter. Beautiful. Can't wait to wear that. Love it so much. And then I have worn this one already. I'm not sure if I've posted on Instagram yet, but here's the picture. That is Crocus, and it's like a periwinkle shimmer. Again, these all applied so beautifully. They're just really, really nice powders to work with. This is a beautiful like light brown tan color, and I believe the name was Cafe au Lait. I think that's how it's pronounced. Anyway, super pretty. And then Daffodil. You guys, this made me actually think sunflower, but daffodil totally works too. Just beautiful yellow shimmer / fine glitter. I'm not even a big yellow wearer, but like that and then this color together I thought would be just gorgeous. So I am about to wear I have worn it because I filmed this obviously in advance, but this is one of the colors I used for my mani today. So there are all the colors that they sent me. They're just gorgeous. I went ahead and applied this to my nails, and I am going to get into some filing and shaping for you guys today. So I've had some requests for more filing and shaping in my videos, so I am going to include that here. So this is my Melody Susie dust collector. There is a I'll make sure there's a link in the description box below, and I believe I have a 10% off discount code for them for this dust collector, so check that out if you're in the market for one. I really like this. It does a good job of keeping my nail desk nice and clean. And if you're somebody who struggles with dip flu, I find that some of that, for me at least, is the dust that when you're filing, you're like inhaling. So a dust collector is really great, and I find that it helps me a bit with that. So I am going to go ahead with my just normal filing process. I hadn't done it on camera in a minute, so I'm sorry if I end up out of shot or if it's just hard to read what I'm doing, because usually I don't position my hand flat in front of me when I'm filing, but I had to do that for filming. So this is my process. I usually go a little bit tapered at the sides there towards the free edge. So yeah, I don't know how, it's really hard to explain even though I'm like, you're watching me do it, but I just go straight across my free edge because I like a squared free edge. Like I don't usually wear a rounded nail. And then I slightly taper in the sides, but only to the point where the nail is attached to the skin. You don't want to go down any further on your sidewalls than where it's attaching to your skin, because you can end up with like ingrown fingernails as they're like coming out, and that can get infected and really irritated. So I did those first two nails in like true time, and now I'm just speeding up a little bit for the rest of them because it's repetitive. But if you need me to do something different or a certain angle would help you, let me know and I will try to do that in the future. So I do the sidewalls and the free edge first, and then I go around the cuticle line with my hand file. That's really like the main thing that I do to clean up my cuticle line. I try to be pretty precise with my application, but then I take my hand file and do what you just saw there, just like a quick run around the cuticle line, and that really cleans it up nicely. Now, my skin is incredibly tolerant of this, but if you have more sensitive skin and you find that your cuticles look really irritated after filing, I highly recommend the Bonafide Beauty Ergo file. It's in my Amazon storefront, which is linked below, but it is a curved glass file, and you can run that around your cuticle line to really clean up that cuticle like area of the dip powder. And it's just because it's a glass file, it's super smooth, so it's not going to irritate your skin at all. So I highly recommend checking that out if your cuticle line is something that you struggle to get looking clean, and if your skin gets kind of sensitive to a hand file. So now I'm going to bust out my e-file. This is my double dip e-file. The brand name on it is Bella Vina, but it is sold by Double Dip, and there's a discount code below if you're interested in getting one. They sent me over these bits for the e-file, and they are stunning to look at. They are carbide, I believe. And let me tell you, I've always just used like a diamond bit, and so I was a little scared of these. I've used ceramic bits before for like removal, to just remove the bulk of my nail or my dip powder when I was still soaking off. But I was a little bit scared to use these just for my shaping. In particular, because this dip powder applied so beautifully, I didn't have to do a lot of fine tuning, right? Like I didn't have a bunch of lumps and bumps. The application was already pretty smooth, so I was a little bit scared to go in with like a new and coarser bit. So I started out a little bit slower. You can see I'm at 8,000 or 9,000 RPMs there. I touched it to my finger, like, look, that didn't hurt my skin. Like, I was like, I can get this dry skin off of the corner of my hand there. But anyway, so it's not so fast that it's gonna like hurt or burn me or anything like that. And then I just thought, like, I'll go in with my normal process and see how I do. So this first nail, I really took my time. I am so gently touching the nail surface. I just want to emphasize that when you're e-filing your nails, the e-file should be doing the work for you. Like, you should just be kind of grazing the surface, I should say. In my experience and what works for me, you shouldn't be having to like put a bunch of pressure on that e-file with the e-file on your nail. It should just be kind of gliding over the surface, and then that e-file and bit should be doing the work for you. So I use my e-file to go around my sidewalls and my cuticle line and just kind of blend it down, because you don't want a big ridge around your sidewall or your cuticle line. That can really lead to lifting, because you've got this ledge for things to kind of catch on. So everybody has had the experience where your dip powder starts to lift and you run your fingers through your hair and your hair gets stuck under it and things like that. That's because you've got lifting going on. So the more you blend those edges down so they're really a smooth transition to your natural nail, the less likely you are to have kind of that experience. So again, I put the e-file on a slower speed than what I normally would, and I highly recommend you do that if you're starting with a new e-file or a new bit, because you want to get kind of comfortable with it before you speed it up. But I jumped in with this new bit, and I have to say I loved it. It was sturdy and felt heavier in my hand when I just picked up the bit alone, and it just felt very quality. And then, like I said, I used it to do all of my finish e-filing. And again, I don't usually spend this much time on one nail. You'll see as I move on. Hopefully I go a little bit faster through them. But as I was getting used to this bit and what it would do, I was really nervous about taking a chunk out of my dip powder, and I just didn't have that experience. So this worked really nicely. And look at how thin the application is. So I've had a lot of questions about that, how bulky are your nails with dip powder over builder gel? And so that's why I was showing that angle to you guys, so you can see that you can really get a nice thin application of builder gel on your nails, and then thin application of dip powder over that. And they are strong and they hold up to I use them like tools, you guys. I'm that mom that's cleaning the kitchen and scraping things off the kitchen counter using my beautiful dip powder nails. But they work for me in my daily life. That's just how my life is. So they hold up, they're really strong, but not thick and bulky. So get a good e-file, or at least a good e-file bit to do your shaping, and you're gonna be a happy camper. It's worth, I really find value in it. And so if you're struggling with getting a good shape and you're worn out after hand filing or buffing, then definitely consider an e-file. And feel free to check out my Amazon storefront, because some e-files are way more expensive than others. And if you just want a beginner and you're not ready to invest all the way in, then check out my Amazon storefront, because there are a couple in there that are much cheaper and were good beginner e-files in my opinion. So that's something to consider. So I'm going to finish up my e-filing here, and then I'm going to pop back in to do some nail art. So hang in there, and thanks for listening to me yammer on this morning, and I will be back in just a minute. so there you have my finished filed look. I went ahead and scrubbed with a stiff bristled brush in warm water and dried, and that was that. So now I'm going to get into a little bit of nail art. I have this gel on hand from Nail Addict LA, and you will probably see a little bit more of them upcoming. They sent me a couple of gels to try out. This was one I already had personally, but I will be using the ones they sent me in an upcoming video, so stay tuned for that. So this is just a light pink, and I thought it matched the dip powder on my nails really, really well, so I wanted to use it on the blue for an accent. And then this is a dotting tool I just got on Amazon. I'm sure that I have a dotting tool set linked in my Amazon storefront below if you need one. But it just made for like these really easy dots. So initially I was gonna do polka dots all over the entire nail. So I was starting with my line down the center, and then I was going to kind of fit in my alternating dots, if that makes sense, on the sides and just fill the whole nail with polka dots. So after I did the one nail like this, and then I highly recommend if you're doing like multiple layers, like not layers, but like I was gonna flash cure between each line. I recommend that because it just keeps your design kind of stuck. So I did this first line, I flash cured for like 10 seconds, and then you can see me debating. I was gonna fill the rest of the nail with polka dots, but I just couldn't get over that I really liked the way it looked with just the line down the middle. So in the end, that's what I did. I did a line down the middle, not a line, a line of polka dots down the middle. But I was having this moment of like, my plan was to fill my whole nail with polka dots. So what am I gonna do now? Anyway, I filled the middle nail, or not filled, I did a line down the middle nail. I am stumbling all over the place today, you guys. I'm so sorry. My mind is just chaos. Also, I applied this first dot and I was like, oh, I messed that up. It's lopsided. So you just take a little bit of rubbing alcohol on a lint-free wipe and just wipe it off. I'm applying this right over my dip powder that's just been activated, filed, and buffed, and then like I said, rinsed with water. If you were to put gel base down first, you're gonna have a bigger issue if you make a mistake. So I recommend doing this just right over your dip powder if you want the option to wipe something off. And so that is why if you're covering the whole nail in dots, I recommend curing after like every line, because once you're happy with the first line of dots and you flash cure it for 10 seconds, it's not going anywhere. So then you can move on to your next one, and if you make a mistake on that next line, you don't have to start all over with the whole nail. You can just wipe off that particular line of dots or whatever design you're doing and then move on from there. So again, I would flash cure if I was moving on, but now that I'm done with this, I can cure for 30 seconds because it's a gel color, and that's what you would cure a gel color for. And I love the way this turned out. I hope you guys do too. And it was perfect timing because last weekend there was a gender reveal in my family, not for me, but for my sister-in-law. And so it was perfect to have pink and blue. It was on my mind, girl or boy, and that's what, yeah. So this was perfect for that. Anyway, gender reveal nails right there. This is Delicate Gel from Triple D. If you are someone who struggles with a gel allergy, I highly recommend trying this out. It's a 2-in-1 top and base coat, so it can be used interchangeably for base or top. Don't ask me how that works. I'm not the scientist behind it. I don't really understand. It is tack free, so there's like no wipe after the fact, so I'm not sure how that works in regards to it being a base coat, but I felt like I could put it on as my top coat and not have to lay down gel base first, and it held up fine, so that's cool. But its real purpose is that girls that have gel allergies have been testing it out and not having any reaction, which is awesome. So this is not in particular related to a HEMA allergy because Triple D's gels are HEMA free, but some people have reactions to other ingredients in gels and they're not having a reaction to this one. There's just very few ingredients on the list, and I think that really helps to eliminate things that people are having allergic reactions to. And so, yeah, that's why I went in with this one. I wanted to try it out. I wanted to use it without a gel base under it and see how it held up, and it held up great. So really impressed with this. Check it out if you are somebody who struggles with gel allergies, or if you're just interested in a 2-in-1 gel base and top coat. So I'm going to finish up my top coat application here and then cure and be back with some final thoughts for you guys. So I cured for 60 seconds, and here is the final look. What do you guys think? Should I have gone all polka dots, or did this work for me? Because I really like the simplicity of this line, so I hope you guys did too. Anyway, I am finishing up with my Candi Skincare Cuticle Oil as per usual. I highly recommend using cuticle oil after every mani to keep your cuticles healthy and hydrated after all of the processing that they go through when you're filing and buffing and all those things. It can be very drying. So check out my description box below for discount codes if you need one. So there's the finished look, and I made sure to include this at the end to show just the thickness of the nails and the nails from all angles, so you have an idea of what that looks like when it's all finished and top coated. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope the filing helped for those of you who have been asking for it, and let me know if there's anything I didn't cover or any specific questions you may have. And I will see you in my next vid. Bye now.